Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here, and welcome back to the channel. So, I'd like to say another maintenance has passed, but we have another week without maintenance. However, I do have another update video for you guys today. But before jumping to that, if you're new here, as always, I'm Chrono. I'm from cover PSO2 content. Would much appreciate subscribing. We're going towards that 10K mark, hopefully. I don't know, man, maybe before my birthday next month. We'll see. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this video. All right, so here we are over on the NGS site. In case this is the first time you guys have seen one of these update videos, the way this works out is I go through this information for you. You don't have to listen to me read it. You can always grab this information yourself by heading over to ngs.ps2.com or ps2.com/players, or scrolling down the video description, grabbing the links from there. I ask at the very least you toss a comment on the video. It does help out a ton. It does let YouTube know to recommend these videos to more people. But either way, if you're someone who would rather not read this information yourself, kick back, relax, get to farming, and I'll go ahead and go through all the information that you need to know about when you're logging into the game. So to start things off, we're going to pop into the update information. Cool, we're all set to, I don't really like how this is. Yeah, I guess technically it's right. It's 11 PST, but whatever, it is what it is. They did update this, so it's actually accurate. But either way, we have a new limited time quest that takes place in Lower Masquerade. It's up to 12 people, which is pretty dope, and can split to defeat ruinous enemies. There's pretty cool ruinous enemies that we're actually fighting. I actually do like all of these enemies specifically. This is pretty solid. Basically, anything that's not Ruined Griffin. You know what? It's not even fair to say I despise Ruined Griffin all that much. I just hated Ruined Griffin that had the little thing on the side of him. It wasn't a fun fight overall. But either way, we fight 3 ruinous enemies. Then we jump together to fight a final boss at the very end. So pretty dope. And these triggers, or sorry, these LTQs drop triggers for the Vael fight. So you want to do this LTQ and either sell your triggers, or you want to go ahead and burn triggers. You fight Vael as much as possible to go ahead and get your Arcocelio weapon or Arcocelio weapons upgraded. We also have Mission Pass Season 41. Got a lot of mission passes. Oh my god, uncensored feet, not okay. We have some cool accessories. You have, it's so on. So we'll go through it when we get in game. Actually, we're technically already in game, but we'll go through it when we get to the portion of the video that we're in game and see if there's anything all that interesting here. Plus, I have alternative colors for build parts from the Gothic and Sweet series and creative spaces. We've had these parts beforehand. These are just the alt color versions. I do like me some red and black when it comes to the Gothic series, so that's pretty dope. And then if green's your thing, you like kiwi sweets, and yeah, you know what? There you go. We do also have new floors or new difficulties being added to Extra Duel. So we have Fictitious Beam depths 7 and 8. That means 20 more fights with Ruined Masquerader as he gets even stronger. So we will be doing this on stream as well. Getting our farm in, getting that taken care of should be pretty fun. I'm just not sure if I want to get my weapon first, or if I want to just, knock out Ruined Masquerader, seeing as a lot of people like to kind of spoil these, unfortunately, until you kind of like, oh, did you see this? Or how'd you deal with this? I mean, it may not even be like intentional, but I do want to get it done before anyone, tells me about something that I would have found out in the fight itself. It looks like the rewards this time around are, it looks like, what is it? His weapon. So you get the mantle, the Enraged Ruined Masquerader, and accessories modeled after his weapon. So you get his weapon again, and you get his mantle for the enraged version of him. Pretty cool. And of course, they tell us about the trigger quest for And the Stars Fell. We do need to farm a lot of this. So when we get enough of these triggers, we're going to be blasting through these as much as possible. But again, I think we'll probably be selling these triggers unless they're already not worth anything. If they're already not worth anything, they'll probably just blast the trigger so we can get our Arcocelio weapons as soon as possible. We also have the AC Scratch Bittersweet Fashion. Skulls will be covering that over on her channel. I think it's gonna be a little bit later today. She's not feeling the best at the moment, so she'll get that out to you guys as soon as she possibly can. But as far as Valentine's Day scratches go, this is one of the better ones. Usually it's kind of like gimmicky and a little extra flamboyant. Not really super fan of the Valentine's Day scratches, but these ones are actually pretty solid. I mean, they're still a little flamboyanty, but like they're okay. Like they're in the realm of like, I would probably do something with this setware, because it is a setware. You can't tell me otherwise. It's not a set. We'll take a look at it in game. And then of course, like, you can probably color change this so it's not as as pink or whatever, but it's gonna be fluffy. It is what it is. We have Idle Blowing Kisses, and we have the Glide Snow Tube EX. And then of course we have the actual, yep, it's a setware. I figured as much. We have the fashion items here. You can kind of see them all listed out. Pretty solid. I'm trying to see if there's anything that's worth, I mean, the hairstyle's okay. If there's anything that's worth me even paying attention to. I've spent way too much on hairstyles, and I kind of don't want to do that anymore. I kind of miss the days where I just ignored every hairstyle and just used the same one over and over again. The fashionista shoes aren't bad. I feel like these could be pretty cool if this changes. If it doesn't, that's going to be kind of lame, which I'm pretty sure this doesn't change. Only thing that changes is probably the color of the shoes and the color of the laces, I'd imagine, but these could still be pretty fun overall. And then of course the stickers and everything else. So you can get to see everything that's in the scratch itself. Not too amazing, but not too terrible, all the same. And then for anyone who wants to know about the current events that are going on, you can go ahead and of course pause the video or slow it down here. I'll just do a quick little scroll for some things. And there you go. And that's pretty much it as far as what's available on the site. We're gonna go ahead and hop into game and we'll go over everything that is available there. So here we are in game. And of course, the moment we log in, there is a urgent quest that is popping. So in case you don't want to have to rely on those triggers, make sure you guys get those urgent quests in. A lot of people are like super surprised that people already have their weapons and things like that. But to be perfectly honest, if you're someone who just has access to their computer, can log in, you're kind of at a moment's notice. These urgent quests pop every 2 to 3 hours. It's very easy to track them with Discord and things like that. We even have notification in Discord that you can see whenever an urgent quest is popping. So even if you're not online and you just happen to be at your computer or playing video games in general, it's a quick swap over, do the urgent quest and swap back. Like, you know, it's basically 15 minutes of your time at most every couple of hours. So it's not really that much of an ask for people who are really trying to grind out their weapon, get a hold of it as soon as they possibly can. But for people who don't really care that much and just get it done when you can get it done, triggers are going to be really, really useful for you. Either way, there's really no wrong way to get a hold of these. But moving on, now that we've totally sidestep what we were supposed to be doing here, we don't have anything realistically. We'll toss on streamer mode really quick just so we're not interrupted. We don't have anything that we need to pick up from campaign items. At least I don't think we do. I don't think I picked up anything early. It looks like the sale thing here is still broken. Yes, it is still broken, unfortunately. You were able to essentially just gather the free X cubes as long as you just swapped blocks over and over again. You could gather them over and over and over again. So this has since been turned off. Apparently it's supposed to be daily whenever there's a sale going on. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. No big deal there. We can take a look at the mission pass. The mission pass does not seem to, oh, it's doing, okay, it's this outfit. Yeah, not the biggest fan of that one, unfortunately. But it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. Nothing too out of the ordinary here from what I can see. I just want to double check a few things. We have the auto sale timer, which isn't as big of a deal anymore now that you can actually buy 30 days of auto sale for SG. It is a bit expensive. I would like to see that come down a bit, but it is still a reasonable amount that you can actually spend that amount and get some good use out of it, especially since it's really, really useful for making money, for farming out deck space and things like that right now. We also have, what do we have this time around? It looks like, oh, they're doing the fairy wings this time around. Okay. We still have the only personal shop use 3 days at tier 24. I've said it before. I'll say it every single time. Realistically speaking, there needs to be either more of these, or realistically, there could just be 3 free slots for F2P. I think that would be a fantastic situation to be in. Ideally 5, 3 is workable, but it allows free-to-play players to basically put up stuff on their shop. And I know there's people like, oh, well, that'll allow bots to then, you know, of course, you know, do shenanigans with trading and things like that. To be heard, I mean, honestly, let them get taxed. It's fine. Like, don't punish the players behind trying to fight bots is kind of my rule of thumb there. But it is what it is. No big deal. This needs to be more. And I'll say it every single time we go through these until it changes. Doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary here. We've got, yep. So that's cool. We have, I mean, these don't really have much of a use, unfortunately. It's really weird. Like, these gigas don't, like, you don't really use them like you used to in the past, so they're not really as impactful. The TA customization discs are a little bit more impactful, but they're not really that impactful overall. Realistically speaking, the X cubes are nice. These are just like decent things to collect over time. You don't really need to worry too much about them. So it is what it is. Nothing I would be too excited to get or anything along those lines. But mission pass is aggressively mission pass. Actually, I didn't check to see what the mag was. There is no mag. Has that been happening? Have I just been blind to that? When did that start happening? Okay, no, it didn't happen here. We had a mag here, so that's pretty cool. But is this a thing that's been going on that I just let's hold on. We're gonna sidetrack just a little bit, just to see. I can't go back any further than just the previous season, yeah. Wait, couldn't you go back further before? Like, I'm pretty sure you could go back further seasons, yeah? That is very strange. I'm not sure when that started happening, but if that's a thing that's happening, is going to continue to happen. That's a pretty, I almost say a pretty big L, but it's an L all the same. Like, it's not the end of the world. You don't need to have a bunch of this stuff. But, like, a mag per mission pass was pretty nice to have. especially since some of the coolest mags came from mission passes. The fact that they're, you know, not always doing that, that's very strange. I don't know if it's like just, hey, we didn't have a mag, so we just threw this in here, but like they replaced it with an arms refiner, 10 of them. Not only is that like extraordinarily useless because you get so many arms refiners from just doing everything as you play anyway. Like the only time you ever need these items is the first time you ever upgrade a weapon. And after you've upgraded your weapon for the first time and you just play with that weapon, you're going to have so many of these, it's not even funny. So that's a pretty like replacement. I'm sure a lot of people didn't even notice that. The fact that I'm drawing attention to it kind of sucks, but that's pretty bad, all things considered. And we can also check the scratch. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Taking a look at the prize pool, nothing out of the ordinary here. Preset enhanced Exil substitute level 3 is pretty nice, but the fact that it's so far down, like I understand the cosmetics being a little further down here in the 30 and 45s, but if they really wanted to get people like consistently, like this is actually pretty solid value, the plus 40%. But these things here, like these really powerful things, it'd be nice to see them be in the earlier stages to kind of get you to want to pull here. Like this isn't worth it. This is not worth it. This is not worth it. That's worth for sure. And of course you hit your first 30. The 30 of course is your worth. I mean, this is the EX, so whatever. Og protects are worth, very solid, worth, and then of course worth. And then like this is extraordinarily worth it, but this is way too far down to even consider. So I would like to see these things be higher up, and things like arms refiner 2s. 3 arms refiner 2s are useless. After you get your first weapon upgraded, you no longer need stuff like this. So I would like to, I mean, an end color change pass. In the past, these were very important and you needed a lot of them. I don't think I've ever needed end color change passes again, to be perfectly honest. I feel like you need them when you first start playing, and then after you've played for a while, you start to just have so many of them. Unless you're just changing your outfit consistently, and then at that point you should probably buy multiples of outfit types. So they do 1s and 2s and A's and B's and so on and so forth. But I think that covers everything there. Let me do a quick once over to make sure I haven't missed anything. So this isn't something I expected when I came over here actually, but I guess we can go ahead and mention this in the update video because this is something that's also very important. If your plan was to stock up on a ton of these and then run these later after the LTQ, don't, because it looks like for some reason this is an event. It's a limited time urgent trigger ? That's very strange. This is how this works. So this is limited time, and I guess after that limited time is over, you can no longer run this trigger. I think this is a first for our triggers because usually they stick around. Like you have all of these here available. So maybe they move it into here later. Maybe it wasn't intended for it to be like that. I feel like this is intentional. So it's very strange that that would be the case. If that's the case, L, in my opinion, this should be something that's available at all times. But yeah, if you plan on stocking up a ton of triggers and then selling them afterwards, I highly would recommend against that. As it looks like, at least from what we understand right now, these triggers will no longer be useful after the event period ends for this UQ itself. But I feel like a lot of people are going to run this a ton. So getting your weapon is going to be fairly easy to get accomplished. And for those curious of how the pricing is looking at the moment, you can see at the moment they're down to 55K a piece, which means it'll run you about roughly 275, I believe, 300K a run at the moment. So yeah, about 275, 300K a run at the moment. So we'll have to see how those fare and how they stack up. Looks like there are people with quite a few triggers up for sale, and the prices started at like 500K. So pretty crazy to see that at the very least. As far as drops go from the LTQ, the usual TWAV is here. We also have things like the trigger itself. We have the Lux Hell Finale dropping directly, which is kind of wild. A M.A.R.S updater, and then of course preset skill level 1s. So pretty solid stuff here. To be perfectly honest, I think that brings us to the end of today's video. If there's anything I personally missed, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed the video, sub if you want to keep with more. As always, thank you to the channel members. You guys are fantastic and keeping us afloat these days. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, my friends. Peace out.